A few weeks ago, you may have caught our livestock marketing segment with Dr. Daryl Peel and SUNUP's Kurtis Hare all the way in Scotland. Well, today it's time to find out what those guys are actually up to in the UK.
Scotland, the land of castles and cities of stone, surrounded by scenery greener than the Emerald City, and home to some shockingly great beer. Now you may be asking yourself, what exactly is Kurtis doing in the UK? Don't worry, we'll get there. So sit back and let's explore the rugged beauty that is Scotland. Edinburgh, the capital city of Scotland. It's the first stop for me and livestock marketing specialist Dr. Daryl Peel. Daryl, along with agricultural economics professor Beth Norwood, organized this trip as a study abroad opportunity for a group of OSU students.
This is the second year of a study abroad course. You know, because we were coming over here anyway, we made arrangements for you to come with us, and we've spent the week documenting some agricultural stuff. We visited the vet school at the University of Edinburgh.
The Royal Dick School of Veterinary Studies is one of the most prestigious veterinary schools in the world. And they organized a facilities tour for Daryl and me to see what dairy, beef, and sheep production looks like in this part of the world. After a few days of exploring and getting the chance to see Scottish agriculture up close, it's finally time to head to the airport to pick up the students.
Right here. Alrighty, you made it.
A quick stretch and a few yawns, and it's time to get started. On a trip like this, time isn't something that you waste. The walking one of the most famous stretches of road in the world right up to a castle is a great way to shake off that 8-hour flight. It's called the Royal Mile. Dating back to the 12th century, this stretch of cobbled road leads a steady, steep incline all the way up to Edinburgh Castle. Not exactly like stepping back in time, but it's pretty close. As you can tell, this is more of a touristy part of the journey, mainly to keep the students from falling asleep, because tomorrow is when the ag part of the trip really begins.
So this year, the Royal Highland Show is actually the first full day the students have been here. So we're beginning the trip with this big day here at the show.
I've just experienced so much already. We've only been here for a day, and we're here at the Royal Highland Cattle Show and seeing all of the different types of agriculture.
Hannah Doherty is one of the students who was selected for this trip, and she says the past few days have been a wonderful whirlwind.
I think what really surprises me is actually how in great conditions the buildings are for how old they are and how green everything is. It's just absolutely breathtaking.
I think it's a part of college is learning, so exposing you to new things.
Like the Yorkshire Show,
As I mentioned earlier, OSU Ag Economics professor Beth Norwood organized this study abroad class with Daryl. She says trips like these have a massive positive impact on the students.
So about half the trip is learning about agriculture, meeting with universities, government officials, and then we also do some of the historical trips and cultural things, really to get the students a great exposure to not only how agriculture is different in this country, but also how food and aspects of life are also different.
I mean, yeah, just kind of how big the city is, honestly, and how, like, you know, it's so old, everything's so old, and it's like, wow, all the history here, and I guess I knew what to expect it, but I guess I couldn't have been prepared for that, so.
Like Hannah, fellow study abroad student Owen Brown says the trip so far has been amazing, though the similarities between Scottish and U.S. agriculture are surprising.
Kind of, you know, for as different as I thought it would be, it's very similar. A lot of things, like, you know, we're showing cattle and looking at all the food and all that kind of stuff, and there's just not as much of a cultural disconnect as I would have thought there'd be.
I've just experienced so much already. We've only been here for a day. Seeing all of the different types of agriculture in a different country is just amazing, and the beautiful countryside and different cultures to see and how old everything is. It's been a really great experience.
I tell you what, if you just listen to the students when they first come in, yeah, you understand the value so much. It's just, obviously it opens their eyes to new things. Well, it's important to me because it's exactly what happened to me. You know, I went through the same thing once upon a time, and I remember how much it opens your eyes, and it takes you out of a little box and shows you that there's a lot bigger box. And I think that's our primary challenge in the College of Agriculture. We get a lot of great kids, you know, all the right background and work ethic and all of those things, but what they haven't seen is a lot of the world.
Aberdeen, Scotland. a port city nestled right into the banks of the North Sea, where the next leg of the journey for these students will begin, and new experiences and memories will undoubtedly be made. But they're not the only ones affected by this journey. You see, as an Okie who grew up in a rural community with endless grids of dirt roads, walking these cobbled streets and cities of stone, it's just, well, hard to put into words, honestly. Overwhelming, but in the best way. Working closely with Daryl and his wife, Pat, making friends with the locals, exhausting mountain hikes, riding my first train, which is one of the most beautiful experiences these landlocked eyes have ever seen. A chef's kiss of a work trip. Though having roughly only about 3.5 hours of complete darkness at night did get to me. In just a few hours, Daryl and the students will be hopping on a ferry and heading up north to the Shetland Islands. And as for me, well, it's time to start my long journey back to Oklahoma. So from Scotland here in the UK, I'm Kurtis Hare.